What is good, everybody? I am the Golden Emperor, and this is What If Gohan Became an Android. As always, leave a like, leave a sub, and leave a comment down below if you enjoy. And if you want to see more, then make sure to show all your support. With that said, let's get into the what if. Everyone knows of the future timeline. Destructive, destroyed, and obliterated. The future timeline consists of very basic things occurring. That's Goku getting the heart virus, that's the Z fighters dying in the heat of battle, and eventually Gohan passing away as well to the androids, leading Trunks to gain Super Saiyan and sending him off to the past. Now, in this timeline, it's a bit different. Everything falls into place relatively similar. Goku passing away to the heart virus, and many of the other things happening as well. The deaths of the Z fighters would happen just the same, and would continue on to be exactly normal. That's until the aftermath of Gohan losing his arm. Gohan would lose his arm, and eventually, after healing up and getting ready once again, including a bit of a Zenkai, he would decide to take on the androids once again. Androids 17 and 18 were still going to be too much for Gohan, but he wasn't going to allow Trunks to throw his life away as well. So when he takes on the challenge, Android 17 and 18 would obliterate him, destroy Gohan, to the point that he seemed to be lifeless. But that's the difference. Gohan, son Gohan, the son of Goku, would not be dead when Trunks arrives. When Trunks arrives, he does think Gohan is dead, forcing him over the line and in the boundaries joining Super Saiyan Hood. But at the same time, since he leaped over this boundary, he begins to sense a faint key signature right in front of him. That's Gohan. He's alive. Trunks would freak out, grab Gohan, and go sprinting and flying off as fast as possible. Maybe, just maybe, they'll be able to save him. He would lay him on the bed when he arrives at Capsule Corp, an underground part of Capsule Corp, so that they can be safe entirely from the androids, at least for this moment. He would put him down, but he's in such a critical condition. Bulma knows that there is no quote-unquote saving Gohan through natural means. He can't, or she can't, just put medical supplies and so on and so forth to save him. There needs to be something else that needs to happen. So she thinks, and they think for a while, barely keeping Gohan alive, and unfortunately, if they just had sensu beans, they could save him. But this time around, they don't. But Bulma comes up with something even better, ironically enough. Those androids are human or part human as well. Those androids were made from human beings. So who says a brilliant genius like, well, Bulma couldn't do the same? And that's exactly what she plans on doing. She would start small. Everything that she knows about the androids, she would implement it. Yes, the resources are far less, but at the same time, with years of being able to work on this, and on top of that, with this strong motive to save son Gohan, there's nothing that's going to stop Bulma. Well, there is one thing, and that's trying to finish the time machine as well. It would increase the time, and it would increase the time it would take to basically make the time machine by an extra 6 months, but after about 3 years and 6 months, the time machine would be finished, but Gohan would not be fully saved quite yet. But there isn't that much time until Gohan is finally up and about, at least hopefully. She continues to work on Gohan with the knowledge that she has currently, even being able to give son Gohan infinite stamina, or more like infinite energy. But finally, after a couple more days, son Gohan would reawaken. Gohan is alive in the future, and Trunks awaits to see if his master truly can still uphold his fighting style. They begin to spar every little so often here over the course of the day. And Trunks can tell that Gohan is exceedingly more powerful. He even spoke to his mother about this. He might be even stronger than the androids. This is insane how powerful Gohan is, and frankly, he's been out so long that he just needs to get used to these powers, get comfortable, because that's when he'll truly be able to execute and be able to show off the power he truly has. Trunks questions his mother about how she was able to basically rehabilitate his limbs, and she says she wasn't able to. She made prosthetics that looked exactly like, well, before. He has his arm back and other body parts back as well. The android version of himself, or at least the parts, helped him recover entirely. And now it's time for them to head to the past. Hopefully, right when they leave, this is all erased. And it all falls in line. And, well, they all are saved. But the chances of that happening, in comparison to the multiverse being a real thing, is a fine line to cross. So Trunks and Gohan step into the time machine, and as they do, they set coordinates for a long before the androids would arrive. And when they teleport, seemingly, or transport back in time, they arrive at the scene. Trunks and Gohan are now there, awaiting the arrival of Frieza and King Cold. Gohan tells Trunks that they're going to swiftly defeat them, and then they'll get the news that needs to be said and done to his father. They await the arrival, and when Frieza arrives, it's a fight that Frieza's going to get. Son Gohan and Trunks rip their army to shreds. They both stare down King Cold and also Frieza, and they mock the two Saiyans, or quote-unquote Saiyans. They say they are Saiyans, but are they truly a Saiyan? Frieza doesn't believe so, and he says that he'll have fun with them until the real Super Saiyan arrives. Gohan and Trunks smirk as they both transform into their Super Saiyan states, and when they do, Frieza is shocked. Gohan tells Trunks to take on Frieza as he'll rip apart King Cold. This is a fight that they won over quickly. In the distance, though, the Z Fighters are currently watching as Son Gohan and Trunks, the two people they have no idea who they are destroying Frieza and King Cold, leading to the eventual demise of both of them. Now, why does that one look so familiar? Son Gohan, the one that's right there with the yellow hair, blue eyes, and he looks like him. Vegeta puts two and two together, pointing at Gohan, but he's pointing at the younger version of Gohan. After they look in awe at the two Super Saiyans eliminate Frieza and King Cold, questions are all in their mind. Gohan, the older version of course from the future, walks up and answers all those questions, but he doesn't say a word about the boy that stands behind him, Trunks, because that is where the issue lies. He doesn't want to say anything about Trunks on the off chance that Trunks would, poof out of existence, because Vegeta knows it's the son of him and Bulma. So he decides to keep that under wraps. But he explains that Goku will arrive very, very soon, and he even gives the coordinates to exactly where they will see Goku. They all head over there, and when Goku arrives on his ship, let's just say it's one hell of a reunion. But it's a bit odd. Gohan, the old future version, of course, the older version, sees his father for the first time in a very, very long time. He's extremely sad, but he gives him the information he can, and he tells his father that in the future, he's trying his best to defend Earth, but he's already failed multiple times. Goku gives some words of re-encouragement and hopes that if his son, his future son, has to fight these androids, that he'll be prepared for the next time they meet. But what Gohan doesn't understand is that he's far, far greater, far, far more powerful than he could possibly imagine. A spar between Son Gohan and Son Goku would then occur. This spar would tell Goku everything he needs to know. His son is powerful, stronger than him by a large margin, but he doesn't even know that yet. But the energy that Goku feels is different. He can't really even sense it. He can feel the pressure of his Super Saiyan form, but that's about it. He can't feel Gohan's energy at all. He decides not to question this, at least at the moment that they are currently in, and they take the information that they have gotten about the androids, and they're going to utilize that information to their best of their abilities. So that's exactly what happens, and Gohan and Trunks head back to the future. When they arrive, nothing has changed. They saved Goku, quote unquote, from the heart virus, and they did warn them about the androids, but nothing changed. Why? Well, that's because, and what we know as the multiverse. Unfortunately, that was not going to fix things, but maybe, just maybe, Gohan can fix things, at least here at this moment. Gohan and Trunks begin their training once again, and of course they do want to travel back to the past to see what's going on and how it ended up. Gohan and Trunks, though, would continue this training to get stronger and stronger, but Gohan feels that he may be able to take out the androids, but is that worth the risk? And should he really run to destroy the androids now without truly knowing for sure if they can win? Now that's something that Gohan doesn't want to, well, get interference with, so he decides not to go after the androids, at least not yet. He still doesn't even know his own power. He knows he's stronger than Trunks, even after 3 years of training, or at least moderate training from Trunks. He was by himself training, and we know that the fruits of labor on that are nowhere near as good. But after 3 years of training as a Super Saiyan, Trunks is still not as strong as Gohan. There feels like there's a big disparity there, and there's a big gap. But when they go back to the past, Gohan will realize truly how strong he is, because when they arrive, they see androids. But these androids are not the ones they thought they were. These androids are a fat, tubby robot and also an old-looking man. Dr. Gero and also Android 19. These two androids are not the ones Gohan and Trunks have been fighting, but luckily they're easy to handle. Their fingers are crossed, extremely crossed, about that these are the only androids they have to deal with, but when they fight them off and Dr. Gero escapes, they'll realize very quickly these are not the only androids that exist in this timeline, because they'll hunt for Dr. Gero after defeating Android 19, and they'll hunt him down to his very lab to see Gero get killed by one of the two androids they've been fighting in the future. 17 and 18 have been awakened, but on top of that, they begin to awaken another android. Trunks and Gohan absolutely power up and destroy the base in front of them. At full power and full capacity, they just blow it up entirely. And when the smoke clears, androids 17 and 18 are slightly wounded, actually hurt, but someone else took the brunt of the blast. Android 16. It seems there's another android now, more like a robot, you could say, that just took the blast for them, knowing that Gohan or whoever was blasting at that moment was extremely powerful and could have severely injured or killed one of the androids. Now this is something they weren't ready for. They decide immediately that they should retreat, but Vegeta has none of it. Vegeta wants a fight, and he gets beat badly to a pulp because of that. That decision was not the right decision. Even a Gohan that is currently an android at this moment will be able to, maybe able to take on 17 and 18, but with 16 as well, it wouldn't even be close. It would be an extremely hard fight. He needs training, proper training. And that is exactly what they need and what they'll get. Because out of a stroke of luck, and off of the better instincts of Android 16, 17 and 18 did not listen to his warnings about Son Gohan, or whoever that blonde-haired person is, telling them that he is a threat. They don't listen, and after beating most, if not all, the Z fighters basically to a pulp, they let them escape because their only goal is to hunt down Son Goku, and that's what they want, and that is what their program tells them to do. So when the Z fighters escape and they leave with their tails tucked between their legs, all they're doing is waiting and waiting, because one person will awaken, Goku, and when he does, the true training will finally begin. Outside of this though, Piccolo knows he needs to take drastic measures. Whatever happened in the future and whatever happens now, at least this can be changed. So he needs to merge with Kami while everyone else gets ready to train. The next stop is the hyperbolic time chamber. But that is for the next part of What If Gohan Became an Android. And if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, make sure to leave a sub, and make sure to leave a comment down below. All that good stuff. And I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I hope all y'all have an amazing day. Later.